political empowerment for women will not happen by some evolutionary miracle. And I think this is where a lot of us, in terms of the debate against quotas, we seem to miss the link. And our argument as partners on the Global Quotas initiative is that if society was gender fair, there wouldn't be need for any quotas. So therefore, as we promote, as we collect information and try to illustrate the effect of quotas in terms of women's political participation and representation, we are arguing that until and unless we have the spaces opening up for women to come in, it is important, it is politically prudent, and it is also strategic for us to undertake measures such as quotas. I would also want to highlight the fact that whilst indeed there's so much controversy about quotas and the implementation of quotas, and the controversy is not just from men, but it's also amongst women and also across the different genders, it is important for us to also realize that quotas are also very popular. They are also popular because a number of us, a number of actors, a number of stakeholders have realized that there is need to open spaces for women to enter in. The challenge that we are looking at when referring to quotas and dealing with quotas, it's not just about women entering the political spaces, but it's about the broader gender inequalities that exist in our societies. And we are not in any way arguing that having quotas, it is going to solve all the problems, it is going to address all the answers. But however, we believe that if we implement quotas, and as international idea as IPU and Stockholm University, it is important to bring in the voices of those that are marginalized. And if we look at the demography, if we look at the population where women constitute at least more than 50% of the population of the world, we believe that quotas are a measure to get those voices that are not recognized, the voices that are not given the opportunity to be articulated and have the spaces. Many times when we speak about advocacy on quotas, there is always an issue that is highlighted, and this pertains to the issue of merit. Allow me to conclude by saying, in our initiative on global quotas, and the belief that we have that we need to have both women and men represented in positions of power and decision making, and quotas are a key measure, a key strategy for opening up spaces. May I also acknowledge the fact that maybe at this point in time, what we need is to get an equal number of male leaders, whether they are competent or incompetent, and we also get an equal number of female leaders, whether they are competent or incompetent, but we get them in those spaces to make the decisions, and then we can deal with the issue of competence later. A lot of people have argued against quotas in the sense that they view quotas as doing a favor for women, giving women on a silver platter. But in as much as society remains unfair, as much as the intra-party democracy processes are not gender sensitive and gender friendly, it is prudent and it is strategic for us to adopt measures that will allow both women and men to participate.